What's happening, people? It's the next day. We're on the cabinet. We're making really good progress, but I had to go somewhere else. I couldn't really handle this because you guys know that I do have another job. And saying that, if it's broke, fix it, because that's how we're living. Here we go again. Like I was saying, Billy Fits 15, back at the cabinet. It's the next day. We made some good progress. We're gonna move that door over just a little bit, you know, to try to even out the gaps. It's actually really super nice. I haven't put that slat in the bottom yet because I haven't run any more wood through the planer. That's all the lumber that we have left. And now I'm getting ready to tie in the big cabinet. So this is it. We only have these two pieces, and I have to make the two doors and the frame out of these two pieces, and then the barn door out of this right here. So we don't really have that much, and we're gonna have to cut edging for the front of the cabinet itself. So it's gonna look nice. And I'm not talking about this cabinet. Right here is gonna be a second cabinet. This is gonna be an upright cabinet. It's gonna be, I think it's just under 8 feet, maybe 90, I don't know, maybe 95 inches, whatever. I got it written down. But anyway, how do we tie in the cabinet? And what I'm doing is I'm gonna act like this is the side panel of the cabinet itself. You see the little notch? Well, it's gonna butt up to this like that. Step back like that. And the doors are gonna close on the face frame that has the edging on it. It's not going to get a face frame like this. The cabinet is just too big to try to put a face frame on it. It's just, I don't think I can get the wood to be straight enough, that long of a span. But the plywood is straight, so that's what we're going to use right there. And hopefully it's going to come out nice. It is really coming out nice. They are soft closed drawers. We're waiting for the customer to come up with the hardware. It's nice. We like the way it closes. Everything's opening and closing real nice. Kind of reminds me of my toilet at home. Does the same thing. I mean, it's probably a bad comparison. What do you think? That's a bad comparison? I don't know, man. I'm kind of getting old. I must be losing it. Must be going crazy. Must be watching too much YouTube. Hey, if this is the kind of stuff that you guys like, subscribe to the channel. Give us a like. Share us with your friends. Let them know what we're doing at Billy Fits 15, because every day it's something different. And like in the last video, I said that we keep making a mess. Look at the mess I made today. And this is after I cleaned up. Every one of the tools get used in this, from the joiner to the planer to the bandsaw all the way down there, the table saw, the pocket hole jig, with the bit right there, the wood putty. Thank God for wood putty, Minwax. Okay, this is something like what we're talking about. I'm gonna put an upright cabinet like this, and then stain this side here a walnut. I think it's gonna look pretty nice. Oh, we'll see. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come back in the morning, and we're gonna start cutting that plywood to make the box, to stand the box up. And then I'll start milling the lumber. This one shouldn't take that long. I thought the doors came out pretty nice. You guys like the doors? Look at the doors. I'm kind of liking that. I mean, this isn't really what I do for a living. I'm not really sure what I do for a living. Can you guys figure out what I do for a living? Because I really don't know. Every day is something different. But anyway, I'm going to be making the doors and oh, it does get one drawer though, that big cabinet. But it's going to be like a secret drawer. It's because when you open it up, it's going to look like it's a shelf with a front on it, and that front is going to be the drawer that pulls out. So kind of looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting a finish on this. The customer says that he wants to put the finish on it, so what we're going to do is we're just going to stain it. to try to match the plywood to the walnut. And then the customer, he's got some kind of finish that he's looking forward to doing. I don't know what it is. He tried to explain it to me, but I wasn't sure exactly what it was. Let me try to move his door over. It's kind of driving me crazy. A little bit too much of a gap there. Worst case scenario, I'll have to move that drawer face over. Let's see what we got here. That's okay. I kind of like a little space like that. But technically, with this, you can't get that space with this, because watch this. Look when the door opens. You see the space there? Now, look at the hinge. You see the hinge? The hinge is stepped all the way to the back of the frame. There's no more room. I mean, technically, I probably could move it just a little bit more. Another 1/16 maybe. But look at that. I'm really right at the end. I'll be blowing out the back if I move it anymore. So that's just how it is. That's what he's going to wind up with. He's not going to wind up with the exact same space. He can't get that space between a drawer face, and a door. You can't get that space. It's impossible. Not with this type of hinge. Probably should have got an offset hinge. But it's looking good. We are looking good. All right, let's come back to this. That's all we can do right now. Let's come back to this in the morning, okay? All right, people. It's the next day. Billy Fist 15. We're back at it. This time we are making the upper cabinet for the vanity. Right here. This is where we're going to put a big cabinet. Right there, we're going to be using that piece of plywood and this piece of plywood. I was able to cut it down as I did some math. We're going to make it in 2 pieces. I'm going to make the base 4 inches, because if I try to make the cabinet the exact same size from finished floor to ceiling, it'll never get in. You won't be able to fit it, because diagonally is longer. When we go to stand it up, it's impossible. How could you possibly stand it up and then walk it over to where it's got to go if it's exactly the same size? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it 4 inches smaller, and then I'm going to put a base underneath it. We'll raise the cabinet once we get there on the job, because we'll be able to fit it in at 4 inches smaller than finished floor to finished ceiling. And then once we get it there, we'll lift it, slide the base underneath it, and then once the base is underneath it, you won't know, because the base is not seen. You can't see them. There'll be a toe kick in front of the base, so it actually works out pretty good. And then if it's too low, we'll be able to shim it and then add the toe kick, so nobody will be the wiser. But that's the only way to do it. All right, we're doing the cutting right now. I just cut this down to 23, because the finished cabinet is going to be 23, but then with the door on it, it's going to be 24. And the door has to land right here. When the door closes, it has to close right here, like this. Just like that on that side of the cabinet. This will be the door, and then it'll have something to stop. The cabinet itself will be against this, and then the countertop, which is going to be concrete, will be across the top, and it'll be flush to this, so that when you open the door up, you'll see a little bit of the edge of the countertop, which is actually pretty cool. I'm kind of liking it. All right, let's stop playing around with the camera, and let's get some work done. That's what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. Set the camera up. I am by myself. And let's get this cut down to 91 and a half. There's my straight edge, there's my 91 and a half. And there is going to be, this is going to be my 4-inch base. So when I cut this, this will become the bottom. And then nobody's going to notice because this is against one side is against the wall, the other side is against that cabinet. Nobody will know. All right, let me get the straight edge and get busy. These batteries are the best. They last a long time. Perfect. Now, throughout my experience of making cabinets or doing anything, what I start with is my story pole, and that is this right here, this piece right here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go finished wall to finished wall is 83 inches. Right there, 83. So we're going to take my story pole, we go left to right, and we're going to measure 83 inches. This is going to represent, this represents the wall. Then we're going to put a 3/4 inch spacer on the end of that cabinet. Well, we could even put a 1/2 inch spacer. Let's put a 1/2 inch spacer on the end of that cabinet. So, there's the spacer. And then the cabinet will start from there. And that will absorb, that spacer on the end of the cabinet will absorb any inconsistency with the wall because it'll push it away from the wall. Of course, the countertop is going to cover that. It doesn't make a difference. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go and measure the width of the cabinet. And the exact size of the cabinet is 58 13/16. So we're going to measure out 58 13/16 from the spacer. Set this up on here. What a piece of junk. Okay, there we go. All right, set this up exactly on here. There we go. We're going to come out 58 13/16, which is 1 underneath 7/8. Okay, that is our cabinet. Cabinet. 58 13/16. Now we see what we have left over, and that will tell us what we need. Now that next cabinet, the upper cabinet, is going to butt up to this cabinet. It's going to be no spacer. It's going to be tight. So, but on this side, we have to put a spacer because we know that the wall is straight. So we're going to put another 1/2 inch spacer on this side. There's our 1/2 inch spacer. This is 83. And now we're gonna mark that. Okay, now this space between here and here is what we need to work on. So, let's see what it is. (23 1/8). Actually, it's 23 1/16. So from here to here is 23 1/16 and 1/16. Now we know that this piece of lumber, which is going to be the side of the cabinet, is exactly, actually it's not exactly 3/4. It's just under 3/4. So that would make it technically 5/8 proud. So let's call it 3/4 light. Okay, there's that right there. And on this side, which is going to be the hinge side, let's do the same thing, 3/4 light. Now, this number is going to be the inside of the cabinet. This is going to be the bottom panel, the top panel, and the shelf, because we're not going to rabbet these pieces to fit in here. They're going to get butt attached. So this is 21 5/8 exactly. So 21 5/8 by, what is the width of our cabinet? Is 23 minus 3/4 of an inch. 23, which is 22 1/4 proud. So our bottom shelf, now the shelf is going to be different. Bottom and top is 22 1/4 proud by, excuse me, 23. And I think I made it. Nope, 23. That's it. So it's 23 by 22 1/4 is going to be our shelf, our bottom and top. 23 and 22 1/4. All right, let's go cut us some plywood. We need to cut another sheet at 23. People, I'm super excited about this vanity. My partner and I knocked this thing out of the park. Okay, check it out. That's it. It doesn't have the finish on it yet because all we're doing is staining it, and the customer wants to polyurethane it and everything. But there's the inside with the drawer. Nice. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Soft close doors. Oh, this countertop is in the way, but there it is. That's what I'm talking about. All the drawers, soft close. We can't get to them now because there's no hardware. We're still waiting for the hardware. But anyway, it came out absolutely perfect. We're excited. We can't wait to install this. Of course, it gets a spacer on this side. It gets a spacer on that side so that it looks like this is stepped out, like it's a big fat post. And then we'll do the same thing on the wall here. We'll put a spacer there, and then it'll give it the equidistant post look. Very excited about it. All the little blemishes are intentional. We left them there for character. Most guys say that when they blunder, but we're serious. We do have more lumber over there, as you can see. So, you know, if something did go wrong, we could fix it. But we're really excited. Very, very happy with this. It came out great. Orange Cloud and Billy Fitz collaborated on this. We're beasts, and we want to just say thank you guys for watching this video. I guess we can do a follow-up to this after it's installed with the concrete top and everything. As in fact, maybe we'll do a video of that. But you guys like what you see, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel, give us a couple of likes, let us know that you appreciate what we're doing, because we know that we're here for you. And bottom line, if it's broke, fix it, because that's how we're living. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next episode. Billy Fitz 15. Y'all be cool. Peace.